I was giving him the answers. I'm not a gossipy guy, no disrespect to Shannon, but it does seem like he's leaning a little more toward gossip in this point. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you read the comments, they be like, yo, like, you know, he's like the new Wendy Williams. Like, he's too strong to be Wendy Williams.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
As fucked up as that was, he's a gigantic, almost not. He blew it. He had Jay-Z. He had the most important artist of his generation.
So what happened with that relationship? How did that relationship that was so good sour so fast?
Dame's antics were just, it became like people also over time, you mature. Right. It's like you didn't have friends at 16, but by the time you turned 19, they were still doing the same shit that you was 16, and you're like, I can't. Like, yeah, we gotta, you know, you start spending less and less time with them because of it. It's like one of those things where Dame wouldn't change. The way he spoke to people, the way he treated people. He was angry.
About what? Bro, you getting paper.
He was angry because he had a strong perspective about his business philosophy. And if any time a partner of theirs tried to like go around him or, meanwhile, people weren't going around him. The people around him wanted to meet with other people.
Right.
People were becoming less beholden to him, but he was unaware of it. Then he would like, you know, while he was building businesses, which partly he would go off all around the world with cameras and girls and all kinds of crazy shit, and then come back flipping out on everybody as if, you know,
they were wrong.
Yeah. Or like, why'd you guys do all this shit without me? Like, bro, you didn't build a business that was so operationally tight that you could just go away and come back and shit be the same and all that shit. It wasn't even like that. Jay grew up, you know, Jay wanted more. I think Jay seen Dame's ceiling. I mean, I think that's really what it was. I mean, Jay seen Dame's ceiling.
You can't fault a man for wanting to get better.
Nah, he wanted more. And, everybody wanted more. Dame just had a very particular way of approaching it. He's far from stupid.
Right.
Very smart.
Right.
Very talented. Ego through the roof. So there was no working with him.
Right.
No one wanted to work with him. There was no work. Yeah, as much talent as he has, nobody wanted to work with him.
People got to want to work with him.
Jimmy Iovine had this line, when the shit gets bigger than the cat, you got to get rid of the cat.
Right.
I'm up in that conversation. I didn't understand it. And Shannon Sharpe interviewed me. And he owes me, because the condition of our interview, because he's not like he paid me, was that he has to give me an interview. So I was surprised that Shannon didn't call me, at least to get on and talk. You know, I feel like I was one of the first on him that did over 1 million that went viral. Yeah. You know, that's the one with the pink shirt. But I don't think Shannon liked the way that interview went. You know what I mean? I just thought he was asking me certain silly questions, so I was giving him the answers. I'm not a gossipy guy, no disrespect to Shannon, but it does seem like he's leaning a little more toward gossip in this point. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you read the comments, they be like, yo, like, you know, he's like the new Wendy Williams. Like, he's too strong to be Wendy Williams. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It just came out the clear blue.
But it's all good, I think.
Want to speak about you.
Why? So, you know, it's funny because my man Sharon Barber, right, I guess was making some leather goods for him. And he was looking for his leather goods from Sharon, so he called him and he picked up. And I'm like, yo, what up? And he was acting like I wasn't there. I'm like, yo, why you acting like that? He's like, because you don't know how to give an interview. I'm like, you serious? Like, I felt like, I don't know if he was serious or not, but I think he was mad at the way that interview went, you know, but I didn't edit the shit. I didn't edit that interview. So Shannon, I believe that as a gentleman, you need, like you said you were going to do, you owe me an interview. And, you know, if you're going to bring my name up and all, at least holler at me so I could somewhat give my side of the story. But I'm not understanding why y'all bringing me up at all. Steve, leave me the alone, right? And, you know, get over the fact that I smacked the shit out of you. Get over the fact that my girl or the girls I was with punched you all in your face and all that.
Let's talk about it, y'all. Dame Dash is upset again. This time he's calling out Shannon Sharpe after hearing his name being mentioned in the Steve Stoute interview on Club Shay Shay. Now, if you haven't seen that full interview, make sure to hit the link in the description so you can see the full interview in its entirety. But as you heard in the clip, Steve Stoute gave his reasons as to what he believes caused the breakup between Jay and Dame Dash. And according to Steve, Dame, who he calls talented, ultimately became very difficult to work with, right? He says that his business antics rub people the wrong way, and this is why he believes Jay and others started to distance themselves away from Dame Dash. Now, regardless if you agree or disagree with Steve's comments on what caused the breakup between Jay and Dame, one thing we can't argue is that there was love and respect once upon a time when it came to the relationship between Dame and Jay. And for whatever reason, things went left. Let Dame tell it, Jay started listening to the outsiders, or as he would say, the culture vultures, right? And even to this day, Dame believes that Jay aligned himself with individuals who work for the police, right? And this is why Dame refused to even be in the same room with Jay and these individuals, right? These are claims that Dame has made on several occasions and several interviews because, again, every time Dame gets asked any questions related to Jay-Z, he gets very upset, right? He went as far as to calling people chatty patty whenever you speak on another man, and then you hear, sound bites. So you see clips like this where Dame is still talking about the breakup, right? The downfall of Rockefeller, right? And this is why the public perceives Dame to be bitter. And it's unfortunate because some would say, listen, a Dame Dash is needed in the industry today because you got so many people, right, in the corporate world looking to take advantage of the artists. And this is where Dame comes into play, right? And that's why I said at times, it comes off as if Dame is very misunderstood, right? Then you see pictures like this where, you're like, there has to be some love, right? You think that it's all good between Dame and Jay, and then you hear, sound bites and clips from Dame Dash speaking on it time and time again. Now, recently, we seen in the headlines, there was some issues with Dame trying to sell some of his shares of Rockefeller. He accuses J&M to try to, accuses J&M of blocking the sale. A lot of business tactics that the public is not privy of. And this is why I say it's unfortunate because in the end, Dame gets all of the criticism when it comes to the breakup, right? It's never Jay-Z. In 2024, Jay-Z gets all of the praise. He's the big homie. You rarely hear public criticism of Jay-Z. And I think that is what bothers Dame so much because whenever they want to give credit to the breakup and the downfall, they go right for Dame. And as much as he tries to ignore these questions, right, or the narrative, he ends up speaking on it time and time again. And, we see these pictures where Jay is mending relationships with Jaz-O. He was on stage with Cam once upon a time. You know what I mean? Jay is very calculated, yet we still haven't seen Dame and Jay said, you know what? Let's put all of the BS aside and really come together one last time and have one, reunion where we all can share the stage, man, and give the people what they want. I was at Roost Picnic last year. They had the state property reunion, and it was very awkward not seeing everyone there. You know what I mean? So many talented MCs that were a part of that era, that movement, all of them got pushed to the back once the issues became public. You know what I mean? Once Jay and Dame went their separate ways, it was as if everyone else's career just, got wiped under the rug, swept under the rug, as they would say. And here we are in 2024 where, Dame wants to move on. He has to understand, listen, everyone can't be wrong when speaking on their experience when working with Dame. He has to accept accountability one way or another because it does matter how you treat people, right? Especially when it comes to business. And we see what happens when you burn all of your bridges. You're out here in an island by yourself. Like I said, Dame has always practiced, independence, right? And being an entrepreneur. But sometimes being a leader requires you to have to sit back and let your team do what you paid them to do, right? Sometimes being aggressive and pushing buttons isn't always the best approach. And this is why people look at Dame a certain way. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's very unfortunate because he doesn't get the praise, you know what I mean, that he deserves for the many careers he helped, right? And putting artists in position to have successful careers, yet Dame is out here on the island by himself, wondering why he gets viewed as bitter. But again, y'all let me know. What's your thoughts on Dame Dash calling out Shannon Sharpe after hearing his name being mentioned in the Steve Stoute interview? Do you think Dame is being a little emotional? Also, what are your thoughts on people calling Dame Dash bitter still to this day in 2024? Do you think there's some truth to that, or do you think Dame is just misunderstood? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but that's all I got for y'all today. My name is SenseiRip. Till next time, peace.
It was an incident involving you, and the